Barnes and Bell, and the forwards Laurie, Izzard, Johnston, Wynn, who will captain the side, Bugden and Drake, and the coach, of course, is John Money.
And Wayne Pearce leads out the Tigers. That great win last week over Brisbane. All that good work could be undone if they can't keep their minds on the job today, though. They're going to do it tough against the Parramatta side that will be lifted by a big crowd. The Tigers' Jack is back at fullback. O'Brien, Brasher, Courier, Grant, Neil Freeman. The forwards of Pearce, Maguire, Siren and Edmund Elias, and both the coach is Warren Ryan.
Mick Stone is the man in charge today. And Grant gets things underway for the Tigers today. Down for Andrew Leeds. Straight into Sirenen on this beautiful Sunday afternoon here. Sun shining brightly. Lydiard comes over the quarter line. Bugden is dummy half. He's able to get it away for Johnston. Now Laurie, the Balmain defence moving up very quickly on him. Maguire leading the charge. Win, the mistake from the captain. Been picked up though by Barnes. Used up 5 tackles already. The Eels back for Leeds. Harry Jack back in action today. Takes the tackle. Had O'Brien outside of him, but elected to take the tackle. Now Neil, and then across for Pearce. But the Parramatta defence moving up very quickly. They're 10 metres from the halfway mark now, the Tigers. And they're playing the ball very, very quickly. Big block of Roach down the blind side. Now Sirenen, Billy Anderson, quick play, the ball's out there.
They sure are. Balmain are doing a lot of things well, but one of them is they are getting a roll on. You know, it's going to be their fierce forward brute strength that's going to win the match.
Here's Gary Jack getting a pass away to O'Brien, but Lydiard got him.
Good tackle there by Lydiard. He had only one option to get him first time.
Yeah, no second chances for Lydiard. He took it first time, and that's the turnover. That just Leeds with the football. 30 metres out from the Parramatta line. Now Drake. Cross for Johnston. Now Kenny. Outside of him was Ericsson. Continuing to work the blind side. Away goes Craig Izzard. And that's 5 tackles gone for Parramatta. Leeds sends it down to Gary Jack. Takes it calmly, 10 metres out from his own line. Got under a high tackle, made it to the quarter line, but I think he might be hurt. Gee, he hasn't moved.
Yeah, well, watch it again, because there was the tackle. It got him on the shoulder. It wasn't a head-high tackle, as far as I'm concerned. It was across the top of the shoulder. Now, Peter Wynn's being told to here as the captain of the Parramatta side, and I think it's the little halfback going to be called up, Jason Bell. But as far as I'm concerned, the tackle came on the shoulder. I don't think there was any doubt about that. It slipped off the top of the shoulder up into the neck. Well, I don't even think it was Bell involved in the tackle.
No, it wasn't.
It's crazy.
Jackie's up okay, and the penalty goes to Balmain. So at least they got the penalty the right way, and they might have the wrong fellow, but they got the penalty, Balmain. Elias is a dummy half. A long floater out there for Neil. And here's Courier, and Courier's gone straight through again. What brilliant form the centre's in. He's got support, and he passes it straight away to a Parramatta player.
Yeah, Brett Kenny, I think. Or David Woods, is it? Yes. David Woods on the State Bank replay. He accepted that with alacrity too. He wasn't going to muck around with it. Took it and went straight to ground.
He was looking for Grant, but the Parramatta player got in between him and took the pass. But another fine break from the Englishman, who's really set the league world alight, and he stayed with Balmain.
There's 7 tries in 9 games he scored.
Outstanding form. Now Izzard, 30 metres out from the Parramatta line. Lost his boot. Bell's able to clear down for Gary Jack.
Well, after all that effort of having a backup kicker there, they have to kick the ball straight downfield to Jack. I mean, it seems so stupid to me.
O'Brien's gone into the middle of the field looking for the football. Makes it just past halfway. Balmain looking good right from the start. Grant. Freeman goes without on the open. Away for Roach. Now Freeman joins up with him. Neal. Little man tries to find a gap up the middle. Edmed played so well last week. He delivered what was a pretty good pass to Mark Bogdan.
They're snatching at the football there, but that's an error that anyone can make.
Bell away for Drake. Bill Balmain playing a straight line of defence, no cover today.
That's right, Graham. Got Freeman up in the front line. Now the reason...
Well, Billy will come back. This should be a try. Leeds. He's going to score under the post from absolutely nothing. The stadium will come alive. The Eels have got the start they wanted to try and prove an upset.
Well,
Leeds.
David Lydiard did exactly everything that he was required to do then. A beautiful bit of football. Just play the ball back their own side of halfway. Went to Kenny and then out to Lydiard. Now he went around his man up the side, drew the fullback and offloaded beautifully back into Leeds, the fullback who sprints away for 30 metres or so, around about 25 to 30 metres without a hand laid on him. Lydiard did it beautifully. He did everything right. There was no suggestion of going too far. All that it required him to do was to get on the outside of his man, which he did, suck the fullback to him and offload it. Here it goes. That's the way it went. Now look at him. He's carrying the ball in the correct arm. He's pretty quick too, Lydiard. He's been around for a while in Sydney Rugby League. But there it is, that great run by Leeds to take it right up underneath the post. And don't the Raras wish they still had this guy. He's starting to play magnificent football with Parramatta.
Just about in front. A perfect start for the Parramatta side. They've got the Tigers by 6 points to 0. Para power.
So the restart now with Bugden, only about 30 metres out from the Balmain line. If you've just joined us, Parramatta stole the jump on Balmain. 6-0 Parramatta side lead. Barnes gets it across the back line. There's Bell and then there's Izzard standing out there, and he's pulled down just 32 metres out now from the Balmain line. Kenny reached about 8 metres.
He's growing in confidence, Kenny too. He's playing starting to play some really good football.
Ericsson up to the quarter line and able to offload to Laurie, and then out again for Woods. Certainly moving that ball from one side of the field to the other, Parramatta stretching the Balmain defence. Johnston have used up 5 tackles. Well, these big Balmain forwards will be huffing and puffing along the territory they've had to cover. Tackle count restarts as Leeds is back inside his own half to pick up the football, trying to get away from Brasher, and he did so, and Freeman is there to pick him up. Back in. Barnes keeping it alive very smartly as Barnes picked up the pass again. Nice pass from the halfback Bell, and out it goes to Woods, and out it goes to Ericsson. This is a magnificent Parramatta try. Oh, that's fine stuff from the Eels. They kept the football alive and just ran Balmain off their feet. Great try to the Eels.
Well, this one really came as a result of a long three-quarter line movement. They've got their backs all in position out there. There was some nifty handling here around about this situation. Kenny got the ball away nicely to Barnes. Barnes lobbed a pass there that just beat Courier. It went out there to little Jason Bell, then on to David Woods, and the centre positioned himself perfectly and got it away to Ericsson, the wing three-quarter, who scored a very, very smart try. I'm still concerned that Ericsson doesn't carry the ball in the right arm, but that's the way he likes to run, so we've got to go with it. There was a beautiful bit of handling there by Woods. He did very well and then sucked the defence to him. Gary Jack's having a nightmare match. Nothing he could do about the 2 tries because he's been set up with the opposition coming at him in 2. So that's a very smart try to Ericsson.
And the Stormen has scored 7 tries so far for the Eels this year, equal with Brett Kenny. Leeds about 11 metres in from touch, 1 from 1 today. And that's the angle he has. A long way out for him. Andrew leads. Hits it just to the side of the post, so he can't have the extras. But Parramatta have raced away to a 10-0 lead over the Tigers.
Now Courier comes back to halfway. The Tigers, everybody's strong favourites for this match. Just about everybody. He's found a gap in the Parramatta defence. Good thinking from Courier, so they'll get an opportunity to put pressure on Parramatta now with the line dropout. Excellent kick from Courier. So Balmain with their first real opportunity in attack. And we're talking about the number of tackles the Tigers were missing. Tells its own story. Jack straight away off for O'Brien. They're 32 out, Balmain. And in a state of shock at present. Maguire.
Very close to being a forward pass there from the dummy half.
Elias for Roach. Just setting themselves outside the quarter line. They're very bunched at the moment, Balmain. He's working away through the forwards. Pearce. Back it comes. Freeman for Neil. Now Brasher. Tremendous defence from Kenny. All the experience there. Freeman. Little kick to the corner. Leeds is there. Fumbles it. Will go against him in the knock-on.
State Bank replay, put under some pressure, is Leeds. You can see just fails to handle the football and then knocks it over the sideline. The scrum goes down. It's a Balmain ball.
Brasher quickly away for Courier, trying to step his way through. It's Parramatta's turn now in defence. Pearce. 11 metres out the Tigers. Freeman. Roach. Big blocker takes 3 tacklers. Elias. Edmed. Just a couple away now. Elias from dummy half. He was bounced back by the defence. On the last tackle, they have Parramatta stretch both sides. Freeman, Neil, surely a try, quick hands, knocked down. It had to be knocked down. They've got 6 more tackles. Freeman bounces back. 5 metres out. Elias again, Sirenen on the charge. The defence is holding. They're lined deep to the right. That's where they go, Neil. Quickly for Brasher. They'll have numbers over. They couldn't get it out there. Neil once more. Elias. Flick pass for Pearce. Now Courier will score. There's the reply from the Tigers. Andy Courier picks up his 8th try of the season. And a timely one at that.
Beautiful reverse pass here by Benny Elias to get Courier to Pearce, and then on to Courier, who used his great acceleration to make that try a certainty from only 10 metres out. But it was the cleverness of Benny Elias, seen running towards us now. He gets the pass back onside to Pearce. Pearce, as he's tackled, gets it away to Courier. Courier doubles round behind and accelerates very quickly and scores a smart try. Came against slightly the run of play. They weren't actually putting a great deal of pressure on there. But it's amazing to see the way this game can change around. Andy Courier, the try scorer, is going to attempt to convert his own try.
Benny Elias laid it on. Sheer weight of possession there for the Tigers, who were hammering away. Courier to try and convert his own try. 3 tries in 17 minutes. Steady at the end of his run. Looking for 2 more. He's got him. Balmain bounced back. The Eels 10-6.
The Parramatta defence not as secure as it was 5 minutes or so ago, and Balmain came up with a penalty as Parramatta is up inside the 5 metres.
Courier just looking for instructions whether he's to kick for goal or not.
Pearce asking him the question if he can make it dead, and he reckons he can. Well, he's about 35 metres out, 36 maybe. The win down there not a factor at all, is it?
No, not really. If there's any Ian, it's in favour of Parramatta, but this is a game that's going with possession. Parramatta had all the ball, skipped away to a 10-0 lead, and now Balmain are getting a share, and they've got back 6 points and a shot for goal.
Fast and furious, this game. Terrific action. Andy Courier, 35 metres out. You want to make sure he kicks the ball dead. Let's make sure he kicks the goal, I guess, more importantly. Of concentration. Certainly he'll make it dead, but it's to the side of the post. He kicked it almost out of the park. So the score remains 10-6. Parramatta lead Balmain. Leads with the restart for the Eels. Down for Brasher. Good defence from the Parramatta side. Mark Laurie moving up very quickly and making a good tackle.
I can't really believe that Mark Laurie hasn't made the big time rep stuff. I think he's a very solid citizen and never plays a bad game. I haven't seen him play a bad one.
Very consistent play, no doubt about that. Now Roach with a pass to Freeman, then on to Neal, cutting out one player with a pass to Courier. Barnes was around his legs, around his ankles.
I think the crowd were booing there, thinking that Courier had taken 2 or 3 steps along the way, but I think he got a shoulder up the backside at the last second and was able to just move off the mark. The referee indicated that's what why he allowed the play to go without penalty.
Lou subsided when he kicked the ball out on the full anyway, so. Now here's Kenny, threading his way through the defence, taking play back inside the Balmain half. Bell. Scrums are 2-1 to the Eels, and the reverse situation in the penalties. 35 metres out from the Balmain line. Barnes, a step off the left foot, putting him into the clear too. Kenny was there in support, but they made a mess of it. Woods put the ball down.
Yes, that was a near thing for Balmain, but Parramatta just couldn't handle it.
So the Tigers come away with it. Grant, 15 out from his own line. Now Pearce reaches the quarter line. From Maguire. Now Edmed. I think fancy one pass straight ahead. Used up 5 tackles. Now Neal. Bell knocked back, said the referee. And Bell is pulled down by Brasher. Just 10 metres from the halfway mark. Lydiard.
Read that. They had numbers and Jack had come into the back line and Kenny moved up swiftly to cut it off. Now Elias. Sirenen, who was standing very, very flat.
Yeah, no time to get his momentum going there.
Freeman. Jack. Tackled by Drake. Roach goes blindside and barges his way across the line. That shouldn't happen. It was too easy. A simple play the ball. Nothing fancy, but the big man has crashed his way through the front line. Big blocker has just barged his way over.
Well, they say these tries are valuable just because they're the same price as the same number of points as the 90-metre intercept or the long sprints. But this is a try that really shouldn't have been scored. He wasn't even standing that deep to get his momentum up. It's just the bulk of the guy, the huge bulk of the man and the power of him. He just knocked Leeds there. You saw him go backwards, and that was the instant that the try was scored. There were 3 of them onto him. He was just too powerful for them. So they've really bridged the gap. They've got it up to 10-all with a kick and goal to follow.
Well, an Australian representative who played great football in New Zealand, and the Zales rep from Balmain picks up his first try in '89. Set sail around the corner, but he's hooked that ball wide. So the scoreline at Parramatta Stadium, 10-all between the Eels and the Tigers.
Parramatta need the ball because they've got to tire out these Balmain forwards. Balmain need the ball because if they can keep it, they'll just...
Well, Elias has stolen the ball. He's going to score. It just popped up for Benny Elias. They've been mounting some pressure. And a smile from little Ben, who's got 4 points.
Well, gee, he showed some pace there too. Now let's have a look and see who delivers the football to him. I think it was Barnes trying to get a pass away there to Jason Bell. Inadvertently allowed Elias to come in and steal the football. That's a cardinal sin. Well, there it was. And there was Benny Elias's left arm going out and pulling that ball in. He thought, well, I've got 25 metres to go to get to this goal line and nobody's going to catch me. And they didn't. See it again from head on. There's the play going out. I think it was Barnes getting it to pass away, trying to, at least to Jason Bell. And Benny Elias very calmly, and by gee, showed some pace there. He copped a bit of a serve from Peter Wynn, but that doesn't worry him now after the try's been scored.
The Balmain development officer has got his own ideas about developing a Balmain win that has broken the deadlock here in the first half. And he tries to rev up his forwards. This is what we've got to do.
Referee Stone has suggested that somebody come up and hold the football. That's Neil. Carriers had to agree to it.
And Michael Neal comes up at the request of the referee. Carrier says, I'm okay now.
I did that once in a match, held the football for somebody and he kicked me straight in the hand.
It's staying there at the moment. Carrier's giving him every opportunity to fall again. Kick. He's got it. Might have taken 2 or 3 attempts, but the Tigers 16 to 10. Leeds now with the restart. The Eels have raced to that 10-0 lead. But the Tigers, just like they did against Brisbane, have answered the call. O'Brien. Minutes away from half-time as the shadows creep across the Parramatta Stadium. Lost by Sirenen. Now a chance maybe for Parramatta. Back for Eriksson. The Tigers have got some work to do for a couple of minutes. Bell. Drake. Brasher. Another intercept. And he's still going, Brasher. Some silly passes from the Eels, and now Brasher's lost it. The Eels will have time for a scrum. So it's been attack and counter-attack right throughout the first half. What can they lay on from the scrum, Parramatta? Bell. Barnes. Kenny on the inside. Steps his way to just short of the quarter line. It'll bring a penalty. Stealing the football after he was tackled.
Well, Brasher's denied any knowledge of it. It wasn't me, sir, said he, looking very, very disgusted as he walked away. You could see his arm reefed the ball out. I tell you what, viewers, footballers are dead set fibbers. They really are.
Well, this is stupid football. From outside the quarter line, this now becomes a kick that can be thrown over from 12 metres away. Somebody's had plenty to say. One Steve Roach.
Well, Roach has got to learn to button up his lip. Now he's still going it. Wayne Pearce is there trying to argue with him. I think he turned to the referee and said, just ignore him, please. Don't give us don't take us another 10 yards.
1 from 2 for Leeds. This one from right in front. Just about be all there is as far as action in the first half, and a terrific first half too. Leeds. He gets 2 more points for Parramatta. They draw closer, 16 to 12. Back to halfway comes Courier. The first half. Wynn's brought down about 32 out from his own line. A bit of a push and shove there between the forwards. That'll be all there is in the first half as Roach is all fired up as he heads to the dressing room with Balmain leading 16 to 12. A First half, as I said, of real attack and counter-attack. Parramatta off to a flying start. They led by 10-0. Balmain drew 10-all, and then the deadlock was busted by Benny Elias in the 30th.
And Warren Ryan, the Balmain coach, spent most of his time talking about attitude. He thought the Tigers weren't quite switched on. John Money, the Parramatta coach, made two very relevant points. One, they've got to stop Balmain in the centre of the rucks and they'll win the game. And two, concentrate on fundamentals. Too many errors in that first 40 minutes.
Gary Jack not taking it cleanly from the kickoff. The first half tackles, well, Parramatta's made 95 of them. Mark Laurie the best, and Balmain made 87, led by Maguire with 12. So Balmain in their own quarter as Edbed reaches the quarter line and takes it over there. Clinton underneath him. Now Pearce runs into Izzard. A game that really Parramatta have to win if they want to survive in the Winfield Cup for this year. They're 1 point out of the 5, but it's so congested that they could slip way back. Leeds makes a good run to within 10 metres of the halfway mark. Johnston. Here comes Drake. Big length of the lad makes the halfway mark. Now Ericsson. Played pretty well in the first half. Peter Wynn. Caught by Sirinen. 5 tackles gone for the Eels. And that kick sitting up. Well, Gary Jack has to play it. And he's trying to get out of the in-goal area. And can't do so. Good attempt from Jack, but good chasing by the Parramatta side.
Yeah, Brett Kenny was the prime mover there. He positioned himself very well, went up very quickly. This was the kick by Izzard on the State Bank replay. It's going to go into the in-goal area. It was a low trajectory kick. We just didn't continue it on there for a moment, but take my word, Brett Kenny really did well to stop Gary Jack in the in-goal. Now the drop kick from the line, and presumably Parramatta will get it back.
Leeds is the man. Threading his way through. 32 out. Mark Laurie. Makes the quarter line. We just put the score first, the Eels, as Lydiard gets to within about 15 metres of the line.
There was no Parramatta player there prepared to come forward. The dummy half had to go on his own.
He's out the dummy half. Finds Bell. He's pulled down only about 3 metres out. And they've used up 5 tackles. The little kick ahead is sitting up, and gee whiz, Gary Jack was forced to really hurry along to make that ball dead.
Yes, well, Brett Kenny was the guy that tried to get the little kick going for him, but Gary Jack had to scuff it over the dead ball line as quick as you please there.
So more pressure now for Parramatta as Maguire takes it inside the quarter. Elias on his own through a couple of dummies. Now Curry is dummy half. Freeman across to Neil and then to Brasher and then to Gary Jack. Jack still going. Good run from the fullback. The pass back inside was very smart too. And they're only about 5 metres out now, the Tigers. A big blocker gets a pass beautifully away to Maguire. And it's going to be a try ruled by Mick Stone. Interesting to have a look at the pass, but referee had no doubt at all about it.
Yeah, he was very adjacent too. This is the beautiful part about it. This is a classy try. This is a beautiful try. Watch the big fella lip his shoulder down low and get the pass around. Now, I would have sworn that was forward from up here. Yeah. And that's the view of it I have. I don't think any replays that we're going to show you are going to make it any more clear. But the referee, I thought, was directly in line with it. So how in the name of God could a referee make an error? We assume he didn't. Watch it here. As he goes across field, dummying, lurches through. Oh, yes, that looked a metre forward to me. How does he miss a thing like that? whiz. I don't know.
Well, the point is, Rex, as you pointed out, he was in a perfect position to rule on it. He was in line with him.
Well, he was quite definitely there, adjacent, within metres of it, but maybe somebody came across his line of vision. A player ran in front of him or something, but that looked a dreadful try, that one.
Well, that's the man who delivered the pass. It was a smart pass, there's no question. But Maguire certainly looked to be in front, didn't he? Now, he scored the try, it's been done, and here's the conversion attempt from Courier. Right in front. As you would expect, no problems for Courier. So the Tigers now charge to a 10-point lead, 22-12.
So they come back to halfway, a Parramatta change, Bill.
Michael Mosley in 22. He's a specialist hooker, replaces Mark Clinton.
So Mosley out there. As Parramatta look down the barrel, and maybe the end for them in 89 with a loss today. It's going to make it extremely difficult. The most they could hope for, I would suggest, would be a playoff situation. Sirenen. And yet another Eels change, Bill.
Jeremy Ticehurst in 18, ex-Manly player to replace young Barnes, the 5'8".
So Balmain full of running through Edmed. And it's always the sign of a side who can weather such a great start that Parramatta had against them in the first half and to bounce back. Roach has played well for them. Neal. Long kick downfield for Leeds. Will be taken by Brasher and O'Brien. Plenty of time left in this match, of course, but Parramatta got to start looking wide as they did in the opening moments. Johnston. Izzard is going to run without no support.
They're running one out of
3 or 4 metres out from the Balmain line. Bell from dummy half. Got a pass away, and that's a try. Try to Mark Lowry.
Yes, I'm glad he scored a try because he's been a terribly hard worker. I'll get to hear his tackle count in a minute from our statistician here. But here's the try, only about 7 or 8 metres out from the line. There's Bell running, gets it on to Laurie, who's really travelling, going forward hard and strong, and able to score the try. Here it is again. Bell runs. Yes, he's got through 30 tackles and scored a try. This is quite an impressive performance from this guy. He's going to England to play rugby league, I'm told, in the off-season, but a very valuable player. Has not put a foot wrong in 1989.
So the opportunity now for Andrew Leeds to add the 2 extra points. We're talking about this game being gone. This could be an interesting final 5 minutes as Leeds puts it between the posts. And hello, we've only got a game that's got 4 points in it. It's 22-18, the Tigers in front.
It's been quite a night, we've had some fun, we must have danced with everyone, and now it's looking like that time of day. The footy's over, they've all gone, you didn't even see who won, and now it's looking like that time of day.
To produce another win to put pressure on the top 3. Win, box a pass, Mosley, Laurie, just scored a moment ago. They're at the right end of the field, the Eels. Eriksson. Their best opportunities have been out wide all day, the Eels. They go blindside with Bell. Lydiard chasing through, bouncing to the end goal. Jack's going to be wrapped up. They're going to have to soak up 6 of the best now.
Well, Lydiard and Bell were like 2 ravenous sharks the way they went through onto that kick there. Gary Jack was no way going to get out of that in-goal area. And that was as good a bit of chasing as you'd ever hope to see from those 2. Grand stuff. Now the line drop out by Balmain. Parramatta get the ball back and the action starts again.
The crowd booing at the time being taken over the kick. Eriksson. Now, can there be enough time for a bit of Brett Kenny magic, maybe? He slipped himself through a couple of times today. Touched by Elias, 6 more tackles. Elias was desperate for possession. Ericsson. Up the middle for Ericsson. Jack. Now Pobji.
Pobji's running like a 3-year-old here. He's sidestepping, swerving, weaving.
There it is. Is that the end of Parramatta in 89? The Tigers fans celebrate. Handshakes from the players. The Eels certainly had their opportunities, but Balmain took theirs, and with it they wrapped up a win. Laid on a couple of tries from Roach, and they got home 22-18.
Yes, 22-18 is the score. Balmain's favour. The try scorers for the Balmain side: Courier, Roach, Elias and Maguire. Courier came up with 3 goals. Parramatta's 18 points. Leeds, Ericsson, Laurie scored tries, and Leeds kicked 3 goals. Good game to watch, and I was very, very appreciative of the performance put on by Steve Roach.